Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Now that's the new edition way.
But I feel like there's another level we can take it to.
What you think, Mike?
2 steps ahead of you, Slick.
What's good, bro?
What you doing, man?
I'm in.
Woman, you don't even know what I'm getting ready to ask you.
Here's the vision. All 3 of us on the same stage every night.
Gonna be crazy.
No barriers, no separation.
It'll be like 9 kings and a queen.
The next level starts now.
I want to give Jock Landale some freaking love, bro. The dude been balling out of his mind.
Jock's a good player.
Jock Landale's been great for the Grizzlies. He has just been, in his own words, miscast.
Yeah, but this has been the best career.
If he's your backup 5, he has been just, I mean, and even thrown into a situation that he wasn't expecting to be thrown into. Yeah. He has been outstanding.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
You're the other white meat. How can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it. I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from North Mississippi. I'm stuck in my neighborhood. Bennett Doyle inside the Built Ford Tough studio producing a program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day better than me. And I hope if you ever get stuck in your neighborhood and you have to walk like nearly a half-mile home in the ice and snow, if you happen to have, people who also live in the neighborhood with better cars than your Uber, who can seemingly get back and forth from one place to the other, if they happen to drive by you, man, I hope they stop and help you, because nobody helped me. Nobody helped me. I was like Leonardo DiCaprio in that movie where he had to walk through all that ice and snow. That's what I felt like last night. I'll tell you more about it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. In the next segment, Jessica Benson's going to join me. She, of course, hosts the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Weekdays, 8 a.m., Grind City Media. She'll be here in the next segment. I'll talk all things Grizzlies with her. Finish talking to JB, take a break. We'll come back. We'll do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we'll discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories, among them Penny Hardaway's Tigers blasted FAU last night inside FedEx Forum, back to 500, back inside the top 100 at KenPom. Nice 27-point victory. We'll celebrate it in about 40 minutes. The biggest college basketball game of this weekend, it's going to involve the likely top 2 picks in the next NBA draft. It is BYU at Kansas. Perhaps A.J. Devonson, Darren Peterson, perhaps one of them will be a future Grizzly. We'll talk about them. We'll do that in just a bit. Skiing legend Lindsey Vonn wiped out earlier today on the slopes in Switzerland. Knee injury. Doesn't sound good with the Olympics just around the corner. I'll tell you what happened a little later on in the show. New Titans head coach Robert Saleh has been introduced, and he was asked how he wants his team to play. We'll show you his answer to that question. We'll do that in the third segment. And the 2 best rookies in the NBA faced off last night in Dallas. It was Cooper Flagg, Con Kneppel. Flagg went for 49. I'll tell you how he did it during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carry out, and we'll call it a day. So That's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, but let me start by apologizing, Bennett, because I fibbed yesterday. I told you as we were wrapping up the show that I was looking forward to seeing you, and I was going to be back in studio on this Friday, January 30th. And I don't guess it was a lie, because when I said it, it was true. I had good intentions, but oh, buddy, I think I underestimated the ice and snow you guys were dealing with, or at least the ice and snow they're dealing with at the front of my neighborhood, because this is a completely true story. I could not get home last night. My Uber got stuck twice on the way to my house, including in the front of my neighborhood, causing me to have to get out of the car and walk what is nearly a half mile to my house. Welcome home. How you doing?
I'm doing okay, man. I got in here. It was a little more slick today than it was yesterday, just because stuff froze over. But I got in fine because I'm a Jeep. I drive a Jeep. We have 4-wheel drive, so us Jeep guys, we like to get out in these out in these conditions and show off a little bit.
Congrats on having the 4-wheel drive. I guess I should have requested an Uber truck.
Shout out to the Jeeps.
Uber Jeep. I didn't think it through. I genuinely thought I could just hop in an Uber and I would get home no problem.
I could have told you that you would not have been able to do that.
Okay. Well, I wish you or somebody else would have told me that in advance, because, like, hand to heart, I wasn't trying to create a story. I just wanted to get home as safely as possible. That's all I wanted to do.
Your video last night, I did get a good laugh out of that. That was something, man. That was something.
I was trying to laugh through it, but I was just like beaten down,
I can always tell when you're trying to laugh through it that you are beaten down. I've known you long enough.
So we couldn't get up that hill. And I mean, God bless the Uber driver. He did his best. He was trying like crazy, but we just could not get up that hill. And we'd get close.
Yeah, and
like,
then
that's my suitcase. You see my suitcase? Like,
I see your suitcase.
Like what am I doing? I mean, it's nighttime, and my Uber driver, he was trying his best, and we would get like right up, like close, and then we just start sliding back down backwards.
Yeah.
And there was nothing they could do. I genuinely didn't. It just never entered my mind that a normal Uber would not be effective getting me from point A to point B last night. So I landed at Memphis International. I got my bag. I was feeling pretty good about things.
Yeah.
I requested the Uber like you do, and I hopped in, and the fella seemed nice enough, and I was really just sitting in the back seat. I think I had my computer out, and then we got off the interstate, and there's one road on the way to my house where similar type of thing. We had to get up a hill, and we got stuck there. But after about 5 minutes of trying to finagle it, we got through that. And then we got to my neighborhood, and we were stuck right at the beginning. And there were like I don't know if they were little girls or young women, I don't know. But they were like sledding out, in the thing at night. It was like nighttime sledding, and they were getting a real good kick out of us. And then, like, tell me what you think about this. I don't know everybody who lives in my neighborhood, nor does everybody in my neighborhood know me, I assume. So I don't know who these people were that were driving by me, but 3 different vehicles drove right past me as I'm lugging a suitcase up a hill through a neighborhood in the snow. It's pretty clear I'm not out walking the dog. It's pretty clear I'm not out trying to get exercise. I'm lugging a suitcase through a neighborhood at nighttime in the ice and snow. Nobody even stopped to ask, hey, buddy, you need a lift? Hey, buddy, in nothing. Not even roll the window down. Not even roll the window down to make fun of me. Not even like to roll the window down and be like, hey, idiot. Ha, ha, ha. It was nothing. I mean, is that right? Is that the America you want to live in?
It's really, it's not. In fact, there was. It's funny you say that. Last night, I was looking out my window. I was doing the dishes, and I could see out my window onto the street, and I see a guy get stuck right in front of my house. He starts, because we got a bit of an incline going up our street, and he starts going backwards a little bit, and he gets stuck. And I was like, Oh shoot, I might have to go out. But he got out and like kind of rocked his car a little bit and ended up being okay. But I did think I'm gonna give this guy a second just because like I'm not trying to like jump right into a situation. Let me just scope it out for a second. And if he doesn't get out of trouble, then I'll go out there and help. But he did, so it was fine. But yeah, I mean, come on, man. Like, I don't think you're that much. You don't look like, although maybe in fairness, they're probably like, why is a guy walking down our street with a suitcase right now?
Well,
That
I mean,
might
honestly,
have scared them.
but wouldn't you use context? I mean, honestly, like that is the type of surveillance video that shows up. Like when you see some dude chopped up his wife, then they put her in a
suitcase. Maybe they thought you were a serial killer.
They could have thought I was a serial killer.
Yeah, dude. Actually, this actually isn't. I can't blame your neighbors in this scenario. If it was just you walking down the street, like no luggage, I actually think that they might be more inclined to pick you up. I think the luggage makes someone be like, "What's going on right here?"
Does he have a body in that bag? They thought I might have had a body.
What's this dude bringing into our neighborhood in that suitcase?
It was not a body. It was just podcasting equipment mostly.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It was just like podcasting
If
equipment.
only they knew.
And some socks and stuff, you know, no bodies, no body parts, nothing. But perhaps that is. My instincts were there is no scenario I would drive by me and not ask, "Hey, buddy, do you need some help?" That's my end. I think if I would have been the one pulling into the subdivision and I would have had a vehicle good enough to get me where I'm trying to go, and I saw me walking up a hill in the ice with a suitcase, my instincts are I would have asked that person if they need my help.
Yeah.
Because I would assume, I mean, I would just be like, okay, like, you know, it's like one of those little, you know, thought exercises from school. You see a man walking with a suitcase up a hill, ice and snow. What happened? I think number one option would be clearly coming home from a trip, car couldn't get where it's trying to go, so he had to get out and walk the rest of the way. That would be option one. But somewhere on the list of possibilities would be that fellow might have just chopped up a body and put it in a suitcase, and now he's walking down the street with it.
He's trying to go bury in the ice where no one can see it.
It's on the list of things. I get it. I was just real disappointed in my neighbors last night. You know.
That would make me ashamed of my neighborhood as well. I completely agree with that.
I'm a little ashamed of my neighborhood. I thought we were better people than this. I thought we were looking out for each other.
You might want to go put some like, you know, a note in people's mailboxes being, you know, just being like, hey, just want y'all to know I'm just a little disappointed on this day.
What if I get into the homeowners association email?
That's what you should do. That is what you should do. Do a post today in your homeowners association. Just let everybody know how disappointed you are.
I think I need to get into Hernando Happenings.
Yeah.
Hernando Happenings is apparently a place.
Oh, those are so much fun. I got added because some people that work up here live in my neighborhood because we see each other walking up sometimes. And I got added to the group. I didn't even know it existed, but like there's a neighborhood group and I got added to it. And it is a great time. I thoroughly enjoy reading the post.
Every once in a while, somebody will send me a link and they'll be like, buddy, you ain't gonna believe what so-and-so's up to now, and I'll go see what so-and-so's up to.
Yeah.
But perhaps I need to get in the Hernando Happenings and just, you know, raise my hand and say, I think I got a bone to pick.
Yeah.
You people like to get in here and talk about how you're one of the great communities in the United States, one of the top 20 places in America to raise a family. That's on a Hernando website somewhere. Well, let me tell you what it ain't. It might be one of the top 20 places in America to raise a family, but it sure as shit ain't one of the top 20 places to get stuck in ice and snow. Because ain't nobody out there helping you.
What's the saying? Love thy neighbor. Love thy neighbor.
Love thy neighbor.
Yeah. That's like one of the top sayings ever. Love thy neighbor.
Do unto others.
Yeah. Sorry, man. I hope you get through this this insane run that you've been on lately.
In all seriousness, and then we'll get JB in here and we'll start talking about basketball. When you have been gone for a long time, like 11 days, I think I was gone, and you were supposed to be back, and it wasn't a planned 11-day trip. It just turned into a 11 days away. I was supposed to come home in between Spokane and New York, but I ended up going New York, Spokane, get stuck in Spokane, back to New York. When you've been gone that long, you are just like, you have an idea of what it's going to be like when you get home. You know, it's like, all right, I'm going to walk in the front door and we turn on the Tigers game, and God, it's going to be nice to be back home. And then it's a disaster. It's just like, not a disaster, like the plane didn't crash, all right? I didn't run into a tree. It's not a disaster, but it's just like, you can't get home. Then you have to walk, and you can laugh that off and make a video out of it, but it's still like, Jesus, man. And then, you know, and then I think I mentioned yesterday, I actually do have a truck at the airport, a rental truck, because my wife had hit a deer several weeks ago, and she had taken my car to Dallas, and so I took her car to the airport. And so there is a truck, a rental truck at the airport, but I just didn't feel safe driving it. I didn't, and so.
Oh, that thing could have gotten you home.
Yes, it probably could have. But here's the truth: I didn't feel safe driving it, and also after being gone 11 days and working till 5 a.m. and getting up yesterday and doing another show, and then my car not arriving on time, and so then I'm literally get to the airport 1 minute before you can check your bag. So the entire drive to the airport, it's just stress of, all I wanted to do was get home today, and I'm not going to get there in time to check my bag, which means I'm going to have to be kicked off of that flight, which means I'm going to have to get on a later flight, which means I'm not going to be home till, and all this stuff. The whole ride is just stress. And then you make it by literally 1 minute. And then you get to the airport, and it's like, this is the first time I can breathe in a minute. And then it's like, I'm going to have a drink just to relax. And then you get in your head like, well, okay, I can drive this truck. It'll probably be okay. But what happens if I slide and I have a wreck? And then they're like, did you have a drink on the plane? And I could ruin my whole life.
Fair enough.
I can ruin my whole life, or just like take an Uber home. And so I'm just like, I'm just going to take an Uber home, and I'm going to relax on this flight. I'll take the Uber home. Everything will be fine. The Uber gets stuck twice. I have to walk nearly a half mile to my house. And then on top of everything else, you know, my wife wants the truck because she needs to get out, and it's, you know, and she was disappointed that I left it at the airport. So just everything is just like, it'll be all right though. It'll be all right though, I think.
I think so too.
Hey, the Grizzlies,
yes, they're back in action.
Back in action. Oh, buddy. You know, they're down in New Orleans. The Pelicans are the opponent tonight. They're trying to snap a losing streak. We'll talk to Jessica Benson about it next.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis. Own the 2025-26 Grizzlies season with the 10-game Flex Pack, the ultimate way to catch all the action on your terms. Choose your favorite matchups from intense rivalries to weekend thrillers and customize your pack to fit your schedule. With 10 games to pick, you'll never miss the moments that matter most. Visit Grizzlies.com/packs today to build your perfect ticket pack and cheer on the Grizzlies your way. It's your team, your season, and your schedule. So don't miss out.
Grizz Nation, Friday night just got a whole lot better. Introducing Buckets and Brews, the ultimate way to tip off your weekend. Every Friday this season, grab a terrace-level ticket to the Grizz game and 2 12-ounce Miller Lights for just $55. Get great seats, cold brews, and Grizzlies basketball. It's everything you need to start your weekend off right. So get the deal that's too cold to hold. Go to Grizzlies.com/Friday to lock in your tickets today.
Duke is suing their quarterback because Darian Menza announced he was entering the transfer portal last Friday. So Duke said, no, you're not.
I'm all for NIL. I'm all for player freedom to transfer and player empowerment. But just saying, I signed the contract, but the contract doesn't matter. I don't understand how that works.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Look at that clean street. Look at that clean street. That looks nice. Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. Jessica Benson's the host of the Jessica Benson Show weekdays, 8 a.m. Grind City Media. Of course, Jessica Benson Show with C.J. Hurt. She joins me on Friday. She's here right now. Jessica Benson, how are you?
Hi, Gary. Can I offer you an emotional support plushie?
I need something.
I got my plushie, too.
Can I tell you a really funny story, though? Really fast?
Please do.
So watching your video, I saw it popped up on my timeline last night, and I felt for you. I felt real bad. I cannot imagine being gone that long, and that's what greets you on the way back. But one of my favorite stories of my childhood was in 2003. Denver gets hit with like a freak snowstorm, just a blizzard that brings like 3 feet of snow. For school to be canceled for a full week in Colorado, it has to be really bad because they don't cancel school for anything. This isn't Memphis. This isn't Mississippi. This isn't Tennessee. And it was my dad's first year on the basketball committee. And when did the snowstorm hit? Oh, it hit before the first and second rounds. And he had to get to Salt Lake City for the first round games. And we put his suitcase on a sled because there was no getting, I mean, our neighborhood was buried in 3 feet of snow. And they had at least gotten the roads, like the main roads, similar to how things are in Memphis right now, where they were drivable. And so the NCAA got a car, and the car was waiting for him on the first near road coming out of our neighborhood. We just had to get him to that road. And I will never forget the whole neighborhood coming together. And I heard your neighbors, didn't help you out. Love thy neighbor, not
me.
real.
I was felled by my neighbors.
But our neighborhood came together with multiple people and walked my dad with his suitcase on the sled to get to an area where he could get in a car. And he ended up getting to the Denver airport, where he hooked up with the Vermont basketball team, who had been stranded in Denver, got on the charter for the Vermont basketball team. I think they got in like 10 hours before their game against Duke, who was the number one team, the number one seed, and they had to play that game, and they, of course, lost that game. And their coach joked afterwards, he's like, well, it's 10 a.m. our time. But I always think back to my dad's suitcase on a sled and how funny that was, but how not funny it was for him. As a kid, you're viewing it like, ha-ha. And I imagine similar to you, your kids probably had a little bit of a laugh about dad having to walk a half a mile home from his Uber last night. So I hope they remember it well.
Yeah, I mean, you can turn it into a story, and I tried to laugh through it, and I did, and it was fine. There's like, people have real problems in this world, and mine was just involved me walking through ice for a little while. But it's just frustrating. It's just on top of everything else. I think I've told you this before.
A plushie for your pain.
I mean, I need something.
I mean, come on.
I wake up every day with an idea of how I think the day should go.
Yeah.
And when it doesn't go that way, I struggle with that. Yeah. I don't deal well with that. And so I do remember, like, it was a few years ago, I believe, when DeAndre Ayton played for the Blazers.
Yeah.
He famously couldn't get to a game, and like people made jokes about it.
People killed him for it.
Yeah, people killed him for it. But it's like I know what that's like. I mean, I was stuck at the bottom of a hill. I know there are cars that are capable of getting in and out of my neighborhood, but just based on the car I happened to be in last night on the way home from the airport, there was no getting in and out. No. There was no getting in and out, and I felt a little bit like DeAndre Ayton, but whatever.
No one wants to feel like DeAndre Ayton.
I feel a little bit like DeAndre Ayton. I don't want to feel that way.
That's tough.
It's funny. I wonder if it's because we're talking about this that it's popping up in my feed, but I am seeing like posts from like Memphis weather.
They said it's worse today
saying
than it's
that
been.
It's worse
Yeah.
today on all the, specifically the side streets or the neighborhoods than it has been a lot of the week because of the melting and refreezing.
Ours was really bad when I left this morning. We had awful black ice. I almost ate it. I almost didn't make it to work because I almost took a little tumble on my way to my car this morning. So it's okay, Gary. You're not alone, but it doesn't make it any less frustrating.
Yeah, it'll be okay, I guess. I keep telling myself everything will be okay. And
I've said that phrase a lot this week.
Yeah, I think everything will be okay, but I
hope so.
I don't really know, if I'm being honest. Hey, let's talk Grizzlies. So in New Orleans tonight, trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. Ty Jerome is listed as doubtful. We take that as it is, like probably not going to play, but that certainly suggests we should see him soon.
Yeah. Coach Isola was asked about it before the last game, and at that point, Ty and Scottie Pippen Jr. had practiced with the hustle that day, and obviously that's a good benchmark to reach as both are trying to near their return to play. And he said that Ty was probably a little bit closer than Scottie Pippen Jr. is, and it would be great to see Ty Jerome. I do think it's unfortunate that I think had that Ty Jerome injury update hit, I don't know, about a week and a half ago, I might have had even more enthusiasm for it. And I want to be clear, I want to see Ty Jerome in a Memphis Grizzlies uniform playing for the Memphis Grizzlies this season because that's something I thought that was going to occur this season. But as we sit here on January 30th and this team is 18-27 and 4.5 games out of what would be the play-in tournament if it started today, that positive injury news almost felt like a little JoJo, little too late moment for me. I can get back in. I could, but I'm trying to adapt my expectations. You know, you talk about how every day you wake up and you think how the day is going to go. And when it really veers off course, it's a little frustrating. And I think about this Memphis Grizzlies season and when you thought about how it was going to go. And it's veered off course a bit there, Gary, and a lot of it has been health related. So perhaps this is the beginning of a reset, but it's going to take a couple wins before I change how I am in this moment feeling about this team's winning chances this season.
I can remember, it feels like it wasn't too long ago when we were like, and the Grizzlies are back to just one game under 500.
It was almost exactly a month. It was December 28th going into their game against the Washington Wizards, and they've now lost 11 of their last 14.
And now it's January 30th, and here we are. When people ask you, are the Grizzlies about to tank? How do you answer that question?
I say, that's a big word. For a 4-letter word, that's an awfully big word. I'm with Bennett. I hate the concept of tanking. I always look at it more as I don't necessarily know if they're tanking, but they might just be built not to win a lot of games the rest of the way, you know, and whether it be the injuries that continue to sincerely affect this season or what ultimately happens as we're getting closer to the trade deadline of February 5th, what this team looks like coming out of it. They might just be a team that isn't going to win enough basketball games to be flirting with postseason contention. And so then you do turn your attention to things like a generational draft. But tank just feels like an ugly word. You know, I can't get around it. I don't like the concept of the tank. What do you answer people?
I say no, they're not doing that yet. Evidence being they're about to bring back Ty Jerome, a player who theoretically makes your team better. If you were, quite literally tanking in a traditional sense, you might just tell him to, keep resting. So no, I don't think we're there yet. But I do think we have reached a point in this season where the losses don't hurt as much as they hurt 3 weeks ago or 6 weeks ago because you feel like it's probably going nowhere anyway. And if it's going nowhere anyway, and we are hitting a reset in a variety of ways, then the losses are better than the wins in terms of pursuit of a long-term goal. That's just the truth. So I don't think you, as a Grizzlies fan tonight, throw on your Jaren Jackson Jr. jersey and go, all right, let's go Pelicans, give us another loss. But if it happens to go that way, you're like, all right, well, it is what it is.
Yeah, I think the last game against the Hornets was an odd one from a standpoint of someone called into the post-game show, the Double Post. Thank you for supporting the Double Post, Gary. We really appreciate it. And someone asked if it was the worst loss of the season, and I just could not with gusto say yes. Well, sure, getting run out of the building by the Charlotte Hornets is not a sentence that feels particularly great. The surging Charlotte Hornets, might I add, who just keep winning and are playing good basketball, and they got healthy. By the time we got to the Hornets beating the Grizzlies, and even the Hornets being up 16 in the first quarter against the Grizzlies, I recognized it didn't hurt as much as it did when, say, they lost to the Phoenix Suns in a pretty depressing fashion after having beaten the Spurs the night before, and that was just a couple of weeks ago. And now these losses don't hit with the same punch. I will say it was probably the least amount of fun I've had watching this team because there wasn't that competitive energy, and maybe that's a one-off, and we'll see how they respond tonight, because even as they were losing games and going up double digits and letting go of those leads, you could at least say, well, they're in all of them. Well, they're competing. Maybe it's just a matter of not having enough players to close out games. But on whatever day it was against the Charlotte Hornets, it was just a matter of, ooh, that didn't look like a very good basketball team playing against a team that's playing really good basketball right now.
Yes, I wasn't watching live the double post because I was in studio. But when I got back to my hotel and I was, packing up and whatever, I turned it on just because I thought it'd be helpful to hear what you guys are saying and also listen to some of the callers, because like I noted yesterday, when you're in New York City, you don't walk to the coffee shop and somebody stops you and says, hey, what do you think's going on with the Grizzlies? What did you think's going to happen with Ja Morant? But I know that happens often when I'm out and about in the area. And so my point was I don't hear from caller, I don't hear the fan perspective too often when I'm out of town. So I wanted to hear some of that. And, everybody was frustrated, disappointed, all that stuff. But there was one person who made the point like, hey, listen, even when it's just something as simple as, the team's running out of the tunnel. It's just like three guys. There's like not even the team. And it's small thing perhaps, but also can be telling. It can be evidence of all of the other things you hear about what is going on with this franchise right now. I know you heard that caller because you were doing the show. What did you make of what that person said?
It struck me that I had noticed that happening and I hadn't really given it extended thought. And then it hit me when he said it. Oh, other people are noticing. And it was interesting because my mom is a big fan of the Double Post as well and listens every game night from Seattle, Washington to catch up on what happened in the Grizzlies game that she's always bummed that she can't watch. And that was the first thing, because I call my mom every day on my 2-minute drive home from FedEx Forum just to say goodnight. And she said, what was that caller talking about when he said that they're not all coming out for the player introductions? And I had to explain it to her. And she said, oh, that's disappointing. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that's I guess a good word for it. And I'm always trying to explain to her just the overall tenure or the tone of how this is all going. And she said, that's probably not a good sign. I said, you know what, Mom? Yeah, probably not at this exact moment. Things weren't very fun tonight at FedEx Forum, and I think the fans are feeling it too. So that's really the biggest takeaway is that fan represented the lack of joy that Grizzlies fans are experiencing right now. I will say the fact that there are still people calling in is the reminder that people really care through this, right? Like these fans genuinely care about this team. The city genuinely cares about this team. And there's something to be said about the connectivity and the community that comes in wins and losses and everything in between. Like this is your team. This is their team. This is my team. And you hope for better times ahead, but you also understand from a self-preservation standpoint, you might need to buckle up because this season might not include a lot of joyful moments as we sit here on January 30th. It's too early. That's what I keep telling people, GP, honestly, when they say, are we tanking? I go, it's too early. I sure hope not.
It's too early. I sure hope not as well. I'm going to talk to you again on Monday on your show, hopefully in studio. Then I'm going to talk to you again a week from today, hopefully in studio.
On my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. When we are celebrating your birthday a week from today, will we be talking about the Ja Morant era is over?
I honestly don't know.
I know.
I mean, and that's like the honest, most truthful way. I don't have any further inside reporter information on it, and it feels like it could go either way. All of the signs keep pointing towards the attempt of it being the end of the Ja Morant era, and now that we know Giannis wants out of Milwaukee, or more appropriately wants a new home, and the Bucks are now entertaining calls in a new way, that really feels like the first domino to fall. But is there something that's connected there? Is there some kind of multi-team deal that includes Giannis and Ja that we're talking about coming out of the weekend or ahead of the end of the trade deadline? It's just, at this point, it feels so weird because we're stuck in purgatory, right? Like, because we don't know, you can't emotionally prepare yourself. I feel like we were preparing ourselves emotionally after that first tweet dropped and everyone went through the varying stages of grief. And now we're kind of just stuck in the sludge. We're stuck in the sludge of it until we get a yes or a no. And if it isn't the end of the Ja Morant era, I think it's going to feel very strange because a lot of people coped in the last few weeks with the potential end of the Ja Morant era, which is an odd place to be. Now, there are others who will be thrilled that it hasn't come to an end and there's still a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. So you're saying this thing can still have a happy ending, but it'll just be an odd feeling one way or the other.
It sounds like we're past the point of, or there was never a point of, if you're going to deal Ja Morant or consider doing it, you got to get all these picks and all these young players, because he does not demand that now for a variety of reasons, both on and off the court. That's not an opinion. It's just a statement rooted in accepted fact. So now the question becomes, do you just move him for the best thing you can get? And when that question is posed, I hear, for the most part, two different answers. One is, you can't just move the franchise point guard for nothing. Like, that's a hard sell to the fans. Hey, everybody's favorite player, he's out of here for basically nothing, but it was just time to move on. And some people say you can't do that, or that's a hard thing to do. And then I hear other people say, yes, you can. It's time. It's just, hey, whatever you can get for him at this point, it's just time to turn the page. Let it drag out to literally the last minute. But when that last minute hits, you pull the trigger on a deal and you turn the page on this era of the franchise. Where are you at on that? Or do you understand both perspectives?
I understand both perspectives completely. Right. And, that's the joy of this world that we live in, is nuance and a lot of gray area, and one side has its truth and another side has its truth, but honestly, it sits somewhere in between. And I do now consider myself somewhat of a business expert, Gary, because I'm watching industry. So I'm back. Anytime I have a show in my life that includes the financial sector, I start to think that, maybe I could do this business thing. But then I realize I'd really struggle to make decisions like this because I am an emotional person, and I do have great feelings of nostalgia. Hell, I could watch Dillon Brooks go off for 40 points last night and rationally understand every single reason why Dillon Brooks isn't still on the Memphis Grizzlies. And there will be this little twinge in the back of my head that says, remember the fun times? Remember when Dillon Brooks was... I watched a video this week of Ja's first triple-double. I don't know if it crossed your timeline, but for whatever reason, people started retweeting his first triple-double from 2020. And the locker room celebration, and Dillon's in there, and Desmond Bane is in there, and Tyus Jones is in there. And you're watching it, and you can't help but be kind of sucked into a time capsule of, God, that was so fun. And that's why it feels so bad that we are discussing the end. But then from the business standpoint that has been laid out by every person who has talked about this situation, you can absolutely understand how you got to this end. But it doesn't make it any easier for those who have a real emotional pull towards, damn, this could represent the end of what was supposed to be a real pinnacle era of Memphis basketball. And instead, it will be the end of an era that will be deemed ultimately a failure. And that is a tough thing to grapple with, I think. So I understand both sides. I will sit here until one becomes official, because the other piece of this is, if he is here after the trade deadline, if it's not the end right now, and maybe it still means it's the end later, then you have to deal with the time period of the in-between. And we've seen various athletes, this is not a unique situation, be in a position where everybody knows that the front office is trying to move that athlete. That athlete is not thrilled with the fact that the front office has been trying to move, and then that creates an interesting business relationship going forward too. So, got a couple more weeks here, Gary. Again, it's only January 30th. I don't know if you've looked at a calendar. It's only January 30th.
Last thing before I get you out of here. And I'm like you. I understand both perspectives on the Ja Morant thing. I understand people, holding onto their hearts and saying that's been my favorite player from the jump. I still think he's got all-star stuff left in him somewhere. I want to ride this thing out rather than move him for what feels like a nothing package. I totally get that. But when the other side, the counter to that is, yeah, I hear you, but he's barely played for the past 3 years. When he does play, there's some indicators that it's not what it once was. And it's just been difficult. It's just been difficult, more difficult than most people know behind the scenes. And you're just ready to move on. Like I totally understand that.
I get all of it.
I get every bit of it. I can't, this is a subject on which I don't feel capable of arguing intensely. I understand both sides of it.
I think that's my problem. I think that's a really good way to put it because I genuinely understand both sides of it. I could argue, if you put me in a debate club where, maybe like an outside source in a debate club having to debate this particular situation and you yourself have so this is a hypothetical because you have no ties to either side. I could debate either side. And that's why it is hard. And for me too, one of the things that brings me a lot of joy is I have a lot of friends in this world who are not necessarily sports fans. And so they don't understand my job. They don't understand my life. They don't understand Memphis. A lot of them don't live here, right? They're in LA and New York and Denver and Seattle and Chicago. But you want to know the one thing that they understand about my job? Ja Morant.
Right.
It's the one person. They could not name another Memphis Grizzly, past, present, future, but they know who Ja Morant is. And it has been somewhat enjoyable to know that them and, carry it outside of my personal life, just the beyond nature of the relevancy of this team in this city. And it was relevant before and it can be relevant again. And you start winning basketball games and it takes care of a lot. But a lot of it has been tied of the last 7 years into Ja Morant. And that's been a fun place to be.
It's crazy to think about less than a year ago, we were still in a place where you hoped Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Desmond Bane would be the three players to take this franchise to a special place. Desmond Bane gets moved in the offseason. Ja Morant reportedly available. Most people who follow the team closely expect some deal to get done before the trade deadline. And I guess that brings us to Jaren Jackson Jr.
Right.
Is there a scenario in your mind? I mean, it's clearly not 0%, but I don't know what it is. But is there a scenario where you can imagine the trade deadline passes and we look up and the Memphis Grizzlies are a franchise with no Ja Morant, no Jaren Jackson, and of course no Desmond Bane?
I think there's certainly a scenario, and I'd be lying if I say it didn't strike me while watching the game against the Hornets the other night. A twofold situation. One, the idea of, well, maybe as long as you have one of the two available in Ja or Jaren, they can keep this team afloat or could keep this team winning games until things get back to full health or as close that you're going to get to full strength. And obviously Zach Edey plays such a massive part in both. I think if anything, it has just been a reminder both with Ja and with Jaren, the secret key, or maybe not so secret key, has always been having a big. And you don't have it right now in Zach Edey. And we saw what ended up happening with Steven Adams when he got hurt and how that greatly affected this team. But it wasn't lost on me that, one, Jaren hasn't been able to single-handedly drag this team to wins, despite all the injuries that it's facing. But also, two, I was like, does Jaren deserve to be a part of not deserve from the Grizzlies would love to have a core piece, a veteran piece, someone who has shown up, done the right things, been a good face for this franchise, to be that veteran for a retool, we'll call it. But does Jaren deserve that? Does Jaren deserve to go try to win some games now at this part in his career? And that's just where I found my mind wandering as I watched the Grizzlies lose a game to the Charlotte Hornets here at FedEx Forum. I think that is an odd thing that we haven't flushed out as much. Ja is and it's because the tweet comes out, right? It's crystal clear that the Grizzlies are entertaining trade offers for Ja Morant for the first time. And so that becomes the big conversation. It's ahead of the London trip. There's all the extra eyeballs on it. But it will be just as big of a deal if Jaren Jackson Jr. is also not on this team. Or if Jaren's on it, or Jaren's off of it and Ja is on it coming out of the trade deadline too. So I think everyone's trying to put up their emotional guardrails. And again, this is one of those things where my husband always tells me with my anxiety, don't worry about something until it happens, because then you're going to worry about it twice. And I'm like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I have anxiety. I'm going to worry about it all the time. And right now the Grizzlies and Grizzlies fans are in this position of every day your brain is going to the place of, gee, I wonder what's going to happen at the trade deadline. Like, I would assume most Grizzlies fans have this internal conversation at least once a day over the course of the last 2.5 weeks.
It's a constant thing. It's a constant thing, and we'll have our answers one way or another soon enough. Jessica Benson, I imagine you got some dogs to walk?
Oh, no. My dog owners have been working from home all week, so I'm going to go support some local businesses, and I can't wait for it.
Well, go support some local businesses, and I hopefully the ice will melt, and I will see you in studio on Monday morning.
Fingers crossed. Don't get stuck.
I'm going to do my best.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. We come back, turn our attention to college basketball. Penny Hardaway's Tigers blasted FAU last night inside FedEx Forum. Yeah, the Owls were shorthanded, but so what? We're taking wins however we can get them around here these days. We'll talk Tiger basketball next.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
The Grizzlies are proud to team up with Prime Global Group, a company on a mission to redefine real estate investment. By leveraging deep experience, strategic insight, and robust resources, Prime Global Group is shaping a smarter, socially responsible future. Whether you're an investor or simply curious, now's the time to explore innovative strategies that align with your values. Join the movement and discover how you can be a part of this exciting evolution. Visit primeglobalgroup.net to learn more and connect with the team today. That's primeglobalgroup.net.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
Who's going to be the tougher team that rebounds and prevents second-chance opportunities?
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Nate Bargatze.
Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems to go better that way.
Big Dumb Eyes World Tour.
When you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person. I'll say it, then I can just feel that they feel the weight of my life on their shoulders.
Tickets and info at NateBargatze.com. Don't miss the Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. Nate Bargatze.
Unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled. And Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays and the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Memphis 92, Florida Atlantic 65. Bennett, I asked you this time yesterday, did you believe in your alma mater? You said you did, and buddy, did they make you look smart? They blasted the Owls the way you're supposed to blast Owls.
Yes, they did. We have to acknowledge that FAU was missing 2 of their top scorers, but hey, they would have lost anyways. Okay, they got blasted. All right, it would have been.
Got blasted.
I don't want that excuse thrown in there. It was really nice, and I thought that the interesting about the win is, and I know I've been critical of these guys like throughout the season because I want to win, but the three leading scorers in the game, it was Sincere Parker, it was Doug McDaniel, it was Aaron Bradshaw. Like, they were the three biggest contributors, and it's like coming into the season, that's what we expected. We expected it to be those three guys to kind of lead this thing, and it's just been up and down. Doug McDaniel's been pretty consistent throughout the year, but it's been up and down with the other two guys throughout the season. And when you see that last night, it's like, man, if they could just get those three guys all on the same page for the rest of the season, maybe they actually can win a conference tournament. I don't know.
I mean, they can. I mean, they still have the most talented roster in the league, and they have the most expensive roster in the league. But to date, that has not combined to make for the best team in the league. Right now, that is Tulsa, at least according to KenPom, sitting at 18-3 overall, 6-2 in the conference. The Tigers now 5-3 in the league. That's tied for 5th in the conference standings. They're now projected to go 11-7 in the American. So if everything goes the way that KenPom projects it right now, Memphis would finish, let's see, 4th, tied for 5th in the final American Athletic Conference standings with Wichita State. So still an uphill battle if you are chasing a certain type of seed for the conference tournament. But last night was a good night. Memphis performed in front of a tough crowd, but the weather played a role in that. Yeah. Either way, they performed. Yes, FAU was shorthanded, but whatever. Tigers win by 27. Now 10-10 on the season.
Number 2.
If you're a Grizzlies fan, start to pay attention to the NBA draft because, it's one of those seasons, perhaps. Well, Saturday, big game on tap for you. Kansas is hosting BYU, 3:30 Central on ESPN. And that, of course, means, barring any late scratches, we're going to have Darren Peterson and A.J. DeBonsa on the court together inside Allen Fieldhouse. They are most people's projected prospects to go first and second in the 2026 NBA draft, and they are projected that way in the betting markets as well. Right now, Darren Peterson is actually minus money, like at FanDuel, to be the number 1 pick in the draft. After that, it's A.J. DeBonsa. After that, it's Cameron Boozer. But there's a decent chance that the top 2 picks in the next NBA draft are playing against each other this weekend on a massive stage that Allen Fieldhouse and ESPN can provide. DeBonsa's had the better freshman season, in part because he's just played more. Like, he's been there consistently, and he's the best player on a top 15 team. First team All-American right now, would probably be runner-up for National Player of the Year right now, just behind Duke's Cameron Boozer. But Peterson is considered by most to be the best prospect. He's just missed, I believe, 10 of KU's 20 games. The Jayhawks are 15-5. But Darren Peterson's only played in half of those games because of various soft tissue injuries, and then he rolled the ankle. He missed the most previous game with that ankle injury, but all indications are he's expected to play. So if you want to see 2 of the best NBA prospects in the world, they're playing against each other Saturday, 3:30 Central.
Number 3.
Oh, no. Bennett, we had a disaster this morning on the slopes in Switzerland. Lindsey Vonn took a spill.
I saw, man, and it was. I did see too that she got airlifted. She's since posted about it. The airlifting thing that is oh my god, that sounds so scary. That's what they do for these when they're up on the slopes. If somebody gets hurt, they airlift them out of there, regardless of how major the injury is. So that would that's good news. But. Yeah, I mean, she's dealt with knee injuries for the past couple years, and so it's concerning, especially with her trying to make this comeback this year.
She was expected and still is, I guess, at this point, perhaps, to be one of the stars of the Winter Olympics that start next week, like a week from today, because her, she's famous, Olympic gold medalist, but also is coming back after several years away, and she's had devastating injuries, and she's in her 40s now, and so this was going to be one of the stories that people latch onto. She has released a statement since falling earlier today. And by the way, she was the third person to crash on this mountain in this competition. And after she crashed, they canceled the whole thing. They just called the thing off. So she released a statement, said she's meeting with doctors. She's still trying to find a path to the Olympics. Nothing's been ruled out yet, but obviously this is not the type of thing you want to happen a week before your comeback attempt at the 2026 Winter Olympics. It's yeah, go ahead.
No, it's wild. Like, I was just reading up about like her previous injuries. You know, she is skiing with a titanium implant. Like, it's pretty, like, her, if she is able to participate and like make this comeback, it'll be super impressive, especially at her age too, like you said. So I'm fired up for the Winter Olympics, man.
I never get fired up in advance, but I can just like turn the TV on, and then it's like I can get. They do a great job of packaging the stories and like really like, hey, we're gonna tell you the most interesting thing about this person. Now watch him ski. We're gonna tell you the most interesting things about this person. Now watch him skate. They do a good job of that. So I'll get caught up in it at some point. But going into it, like until Lindsey Vonn crashed earlier today, I did. If you'd have said GP, when's the Winter Olympics start, I wouldn't have known it was next week. I would just that would not have been something I would have been able to spit out. But because of Lindsey Vonn's unfortunate incident, I'm now aware the Winter Olympics start next week, and hopefully she'll be able to compete.
Number 4.
Robert Saleh, introduced as the Titans head coach. He was asked, "Hey, coach, how's your team going to play?" Kyra, if we got it, let's let Bennett get excited at his new head coach's words.
Sundays, what do you want them to be known for week in and week out?
Fast and violent, man. Play in and play out. We're going to play with speed. We're going to play confident. We're going to have some swag. Talk a little shit. But I want them to show who they are, play in and play out. And like I said, the one thing that you'll notice is the speed at which we play and the violence at which we do it.
All right, Bennett, you fired up? That's your head coach.
Dude, I wanted to run through a brick wall last night when I saw that. I mean, give me a T-shirt that says "Fast and Violent" on it with a Titans logo, please. I need that ASAP. Just hearing him talk yesterday was awesome. That was obviously cool. Saying that they're going to play fast and violent and talk a little shit, that was cool. But there was another part of the press conference where he talked about how he's going to take over the play calling duties on defense in this round. He didn't do that when he was with the Jets, and he said that he felt like he lost a connection with his players. Not that. I was like, okay, this dude has like a real vision, and I'm just excited that it appears, you know, it's a press conference. A lot of people win the opening press conferences, but it does seem like he has a real vision for an identity for this team, which is so desperate for an identity. So I thought it was great, and I'm really fired up.
I don't guess I knew this about him until I saw the picture of he and his family getting off the plane, but he's got 8 kids.
He's got a big family, man. Yeah. And they're all young, it looks like. I saw the picture too. Yeah, man.
I don't even understand how somebody does that.
I know. I can't imagine.
Like, I can't imagine. I don't understand how anybody thinks that's good.
It gives me more confidence because I'm like, man, if he can handle that, I think he can coach this football team.
If you can handle, I co-sign that. It sounds easier to me to coach a football team than it does to raise 8 kids. So good luck to the Salehs in every way imaginable. Bennett's got a new coach, and he's ready to play fast and violent.
Number 5.
Hornets 123, Mavericks 121 last night down in Dallas. Hornets get the win. Cooper Flagg makes history. 49 points for the likely rookie of the year, the number 1 pick in the 2025 NBA draft. He was 20 of 29 from the field, and he is now set the record for most points ever in an NBA game by a teenager. He just turned 19 in December. The record is now 49. Cliff Robinson held it before. He had 45 at the age of 19 for New Jersey back in a game in March 1980. But Cooper Flagg got 4 more points than that last night in a matchup between the former Duke roommates and the 2 leading candidates to be Rookie of the Year right now, Con Knippel and Cooper Flagg. Con Knippel got a career-high 34, and Cooper Flagg got 49. Did you get to see any of that last night?
Yeah, I did. It's obviously not fair that Dallas gets to trade away a generational talent and replace him with what appears to be one, but I digress.
I
mean,
but that is
come
how
on, man.
quick, and they're not good, but they know where they're headed with this guy. And that was just a byproduct of them getting lucky. And it's like sometimes really just getting lucky is the thing that changes your franchise. Like the Spurs got lucky, and now they got Wemby. And wouldn't it be nice to get lucky and get you a Darren Peterson or AJ DeBonsa or something like that? So it looks like the Mavericks found a star. It looks like the Hornets found a star. They used to live together last season at Duke. They played each other last night, and they combined to score, what was it? 49 for Cooper Flagg, 34 for Concanipple. Just massive performances from the young rookies. Hornets Mavericks delivered the NBA headline of the night. Be back with Carry Out.
Memphis, Monday, February 16th. Tickets and Ringsider packages on sale now.
The long goodbye begins. A very special evening with Journey. Final Frontier Tour. Journey. Tickets are on sale now at journeymusic.com. Your chance to say goodbye to the songs that changed our lives. Journey. Final Frontier Tour.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Watching the Grizzlies is easy with FanDuel Sports Network. If you have cable or satellite, you're all set. Find us on your channel lineup. You can also use your TV provider login to watch games on the FanDuel Sports Network app. No cable or satellite? Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network online. You can also watch on Prime Video by adding a FanDuel Sports Network subscription. Not sure where to start? Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com to learn more.
The only thing better than Saturday Night Hoops is when it comes with an exclusive Grizz hoodie. Every Saturday this season, $60 gets you a Grizzlies ticket and a limited edition Grizzlies hoodie. 4 different hoodie designs dropping across 4 Saturday games. Not sold anywhere else. Don't miss your shot to collect all 4 designs. Grab your tickets and gear up now at grizzlies.com/Saturday.
Fans for Grizz fans, 191 Collabs, presented by Pinnacle, celebrates Memphis designers and showcases our city's unique voice and vibe through hyper-local Grizz gear. Next up, the From Memphis with Love collection from Peso Design Studios. It drops Saturday, January 31st. That's this weekend, when the Grizzlies take on the Minnesota Timberwolves at 7 p.m. This soulful, vivid collection channels the city's rich culture with bold streetwear styles and is only available in FedEx Forum on game night starting at 5:30 p.m. Buy your tickets today for access at Ticketmaster.com or visit 191collabs.com for more info. Let's do carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we miss today?
In the Australian Open, Novak Djokovic won a 5-set thriller in the semifinals over Jannik Sinner. And so that sets up Djokovic against Carlos Alcaraz in the Australian Open finals. So either Alcaraz is going to make some history or Djokovic is going to win what I believe would be his 25th in a record Grand Slam final. So should be another classic in the final down in Australian. That, of course, is coming up this weekend.
What's today's biggest game?
We'll do college basketball. I'll take you to the Breslin Center in East Lansing tonight, Fox, 7 o'clock. It's a top 10 matchup. Number 3, Michigan at number 7, Michigan State. Michigan State's a 1.5-point favorite right now. The total's 147.5. No, Michigan is a 1.5-point favorite. I'm sorry. Michigan, 1.5-point favorite on the road. The Wolverines are favored in the Breslin Center. How you going to act, Bennett?
Man, let me, you know what? We've been on such a roll. Lately. I'm going to get a little risky tonight. I'm a fan of Tom Izzo. I know you're a fan of Tom Izzo. Of course. I'm also a Spartan, a White Station Spartan. And so we will be rolling with the Spartans tonight for the upset.
Bennett said he's going to be a building truster tonight. He's taking the underdog Spartans at home inside the Breslin Center. Tips at 7 o'clock. It's on Fox.
What are we watching on TV?
Hey, the Grammys are this weekend. We're going to watch the Grammys this weekend, Bennett?
I watch the Grammys. I dabble. I like the Grammys.
I like the Grammys. It's on America's Most Watched Network. It's the network of stars. CBS on Sunday night. The big category is Album of the Year. Who's going to take it? The nominees.
Okay.
Bad Bunny.
All right, so this is a special bonus pick. All right.
Special bonus pick. Album of the Year. Bad Bunny. Justin Bieber. Sabrina Carpenter. Clips. Lady Gaga. Kendrick Lamar. Leon Thomas. Or Tyler, the Creator. So 3 monster hip-hop albums in there. Tyler, the Creator's Chromacopia, Clips, Let God Sort 'Em Out, and, of course, Kendrick Lamar's GNX. Who wins Album of the Year?
I'm going to say Kendrick Lamar probably wins it, and I will say that the dark horse is Bad Bunny because he's a global superstar.
Bad Bunny is a global superstar. Wouldn't be shocked to see him win it in advance of his Super Bowl performance. But I think, and maybe I'm thinking with my heart here. I think it comes down to Kendrick and Clips. And if Kendrick doesn't win it, I could see voters getting caught up in the Clips story. For people who don't know, they're brothers. It's a hip hop duo. Pusha T and Malice. They're brothers from Virginia, and they had not performed or recorded together in years because Malice had left hip hop. But he comes back after both of their parents died very in a very short amount of time. And so, like, the lead track is about, like, losing their mom and their dad in a very short amount of time. And that story has gotten a lot of attention. And I could see that just being something that's wrapped perfectly for this moment. It's a great television moment. And I will have no objection if Clips wins. That is one of my favorite albums of the past year. But I went back and listened to it the other day because I had not listened to it recently. You stumble into a song here or there. I mean, you can't even turn on the TV without stumbling into a song off of GNX. But I had not listened to the album maybe in a few months after listening to it probably daily for a year. And so I just went back to it the other day. That's the best album. That's of the nominees. That's the best album. I've listened to every one of those albums. GNX, the best album. Like, that is another masterpiece from Kendrick, filled with hits. It was the most important album that was made in this time frame, and that is nominated Sunday night. So I will not be upset if Clips win. I think it comes down to Kendrick or Clips, but I think GNX should be the album of the year.
What's the best thing we've read?
Another big weekend in the SEC on tap. And my buddy Matt Norlander, who does the On College Basketball podcast with me, he was just at Vanderbilt for the Commodores' 25-point win over Kentucky earlier in the week. And he used that night to write about Tyler Tanner, Vandy's star, who's, local kid, undersized guard, from Brentwood, unheralded recruit for the most part. But when the coaching change happened at Vandy, he stayed true to his commitment, enrolled, and now he is a sophomore star. So if you want to read about him, you can find that on the college basketball page, cbssports.com.
What's going on this weekend?
Oh, man. Who knows if I'll even leave this house.
I was going to say, man, you just need to hunker down and not go anywhere and just decompress a little bit.
I'm going to go cry myself to sleep. I think I'm going to cry myself to sleep.
You can call me if you need someone to talk to.
Keep your phone on.
I will. I absolutely will.
Keep your phone on.
Yep.
In all seriousness, I hope everybody has a wonderful and safe weekend. We got Grizzlies games, Tigers, huge weekend of college basketball. Yep. Royal Rumble.
Yeah, they were asking for my prediction in the chat, and everybody, I think there's a consensus. We don't like it, but we all agree it's probably going to be Brock Lesnar.
I'm out. I don't know what's going on.
I don't really either, but they like the press release and all that stuff that he was going to be in it. I'm like, okay.
I'll turn it on. I will watch. I'm gonna give it the opportunity. WWE. I'm gonna give it an opportunity to grab me this weekend. I will turn it on, but I have not paid attention very closely lately. So a bunch going on this weekend. We'll be back to talk about it on Monday, hopefully in studio. Enjoy your weekend. I'll enjoy mine. And we'll meet back here Monday at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.